In Physics Lab Report 5, I am going to observe collision between two objects in one dimension, and assuming this collision to be perfectly elastic, make predictions of the final velocity of these two objects. If it is an elastic collision, both the energy and momentum are conserved, and using these equations we can find the final velocity of both the objects. So our system here consists of a car weighing approximately 335 grams and a ball weighing 115 grams, and I have set positive x-axis towards right, and the calibration stick is set to the length of the roof of this car. Let's now run this model. It has initial velocity and it collides with the ball, and the ball starts moving. And this is the red color is the position data of a car, and blue color represents the position data of a ball. Let's analyze this position data in details. So we can divide this into two sections, pre-collision section and post-collision section. And using the position data, we can find the both initial velocities and final velocities of both the objects. And we can now, using the mass and the initial velocity data, we can make prediction based upon our elastic collision assumption for the final velocity of these two objects. And if we compare these two, the predictions and the observations, we said that the car is in agreement with the prediction. However, the velocity of the ball is far away from uh, the actual observation, which means the collision is inelastic and there is some other interaction. So obviously we have kept both the things on floor, and friction is one, could be one main culprit. But however, we have assumed that both the system will have a rolling friction. They are going to roll, and rolling friction is very less, so we can safely ignore it. But if we observe the motion carefully, see that initial 3 or 4 phases is sliding rather than rolling. So the same is confirmed if we look at the instantaneous velocity graph of these two systems. Here we see that this is where the collision happens and the ball starts accelerating. However, we see that this is where the collision ends, and immediately after we see a sharp drop in the velocity of the ball. This must be happening mainly because of the collision, because of the sliding friction of the ball with the surface rather than rolling, and this is where the ball starts rolling and we don't see that much drop in the velocity. So to concrete our observation, we'll have a look at the data here. So using the drop in velocity of the car, we can find the momentum loss of the ball of the car, and using the gain in the velocity of the ball, we can find the momentum gain in the ball. And if we compare these two quantities, we see that they are not equal, which means even the momentum of this system is not conserved. So there must be some external force or the frictional force. So if we divide the difference of these two momentum by the time duration of our collision, which is 0.067 seconds, we can find out this external agency force. And if we use the momentum of the ball as the momentum exchange between the two systems, we can find the average force acting on these two objects during this collision. And using this frictional force, and dividing it by mass of the ball times gravity, we can find the coefficient of friction. So using these information, we can build our computational model, starting with the initial inputs, defining the coefficient of frictions, where this 0.01 and 0.02 represent the rolling friction of car and the ball. And I have divided this system into 4 different phases. This is a pre-collision phase where there is no interaction. Then the collision point till 0.0267 seconds, there this forces internal to the system would be acting, and actually they will be cancelling out each other, and the friction is sliding friction for the ball. And after collision also, till next one more frame, the ball has sliding friction. After that, the ball has rolling friction and there are no external interactions. Let's now run this model. And we see this car it comes in contact with the ball and they start rolling. And if you look at the velocity graphs, you can see the kind of kink we have seen in the observation data over there. And this is the position data. And if we compare it on the plot, we can see that we are making much more closer observations in the position data as well as the velocity data. These two points are certainly not our predictions, because this is what we have used to calculate our coefficient of friction. But if we look at the next point here, where we have assumed that the ball keeps on sliding even after collision, how closely we are predicting the drop in the velocity. Obviously, the original phenomena is much more complex than this. Simply having the friction, there would be a slight amount of drag also, and at the same time some energy must be lost during the collision also. So assuming all those things, I think we are in good agreement with the predictions. And that's all from my side. Thank you very much.